All right, first and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises and glory belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Mahabakar Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, his Son's name is Yahweh Shai, in who I reverence and honor to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning in the hopes of being safe. So lucky if I sound blocked up. No, I just got my face covered, right? And I'm gonna let you know why, right? Because there's a lot of corruption in high places. There's a lot of corruption in high places. You're not gonna believe what I'm gonna present to you right now, but whether you believe it or not makes no difference, because this is what's happening within our own governments. Within our own governments, you have those that are testing, right, and declaring war on their own citizens. This is what's going on as I speak, right? And you know what? This is pretty much not just for the elect, more so for the elect and for anyone who's listening, even my neighbors, right? So let's check this out. And this was a new article I found a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. This was from Brian Coffran. I had to bring this out. Exposes private firms. Before we go into this, I quickly want to bring this out. Start at 1 Timothy's, all right? 2 Timothy's 3 and 11. Persecutions and afflictions which came unto me at Antioch, I endured, but out of all them the Lord Jehovah delivered me. And when I looked up this word persecutions, so lucky, all my paperwork is everywhere right now. When you go into that word persecutions, it says to persecute, to treat cruelly, or oppress because of religious beliefs, harass, worry. So, guess what? Is it making a bit more sense? I hope this is comforting you. Why are these things happening? Because they put you on a... We don't know everything, but you had someone that's powerful, that knows people in higher places that are corrupt, and they managed to put you on the watch list. So yes, now this, I'm speaking to the hopeful elect. You believe in Yahweh Shai? Well, someone put you on a watch list, right? And that goes for all the 144,000, because the elites, they don't want us on the streets. They want us off the streets. They want us sectioned, right? So whether you know it, whether other people have told you or not, you are on a watch list, right? And a watch list, that's not no light thing. A watch list is a watch list, right? Exactly what it's called. So a watch list goes out to every single country where you are. Basically, you're seen as a so-called terrorist, which they know, the people, my neighbors know I'm not no terrorist. I'm harmless as a dove, right? Wise as a serpent. So this is what they brought out. This is what you are on, a watch list, right? It's like a mob boss. That's like some RICO law type thing. And Paul said, persecutions, afflictions, which I suffered. That's serious. A watch list ain't no small thing. That's a serious thing, right? That's a serious thing. And it says, Babakashah, and afflictions which came unto me at Antioch, Iconium, and Lystra, which persecutions I endured. So Paul, he endured all types of persecutions. But out of them, the Lord Jehovah delivered me out of all of them. Like, this is going to take high levels of faith. This is going to take high levels of faith, right? So you were seen as a threat. And I always say, it's nothing you were doing wrong. You probably were a whistleblower. You brought out something that I'm not going to say you shouldn't have brought out, because you're supposed to bring out everything. Someone saw it, a government official, and therefore you were put on that list. Because not anyone, an ordinary individual, can't say, I want to put him on a watch list. It doesn't go like that. Bro, it's your government that's in charge of you being watched, you being gang-stalked, you being harassed. So when people are doing these things, even you being stalked on a low level, right, for mid-level, your government are behind it. The police are behind it. We're going to get into this, Baba Kashar. Right? Oh my gosh. Right? The people have been lied to. You know, you can buy fake badges on the internet, right? Fake FBI badges. That's what some people do. So bear me just a minute. So let's get into this article that I had a couple days ago. This is from Brian Cochran. Exposes private firms. So this is done through private firms. Mostly it starts on a government level, COINTELPRO and the FBI, right? And you look at the history of them. What were they known for doing? Taking down so-called, what do they call it? Dissidents. They call it dissident citizens, right? So what they see us as, they try to label as dissidents, you know, a danger to society. So these are done through, they're hidden through private firms. Why? So you can't trace it back to the person that's doing it. That's why you have the private firm. Okay? But it's FBI, COINTELPRO, and the NSA that are responsible, and from on top, the military and fusion centers, right? That are conducting all this, conducting it when you go out, when you move around, they're conducting it. SIS, some of the companies, SAIC, and I can't even believe it, even Amazon and your delivery companies are a part of it. Behind organized stalking, Neuro warfare operations against dissident citizens. The name of this individual is called Brian Cochran. Came forward to expose surveillance network. This is a surveillance network, right? So what does that involve? You being surveilled, cameras, lighting sensors when you move around so they know it's you, and total individual control, tech. So there's a lot of tech. So I don't want to go into the ins and outs. Well, how did you get put on the program? And I don't want to go into the ins and outs of that. But it could be something as simple as, well, if you're on YouTube, that platform, well, who runs YouTube? It's a so-called YouTube. It could be anyone, right? You maybe go on Google. Will someone easily report you? You're using their software. It's easy because they work with these providers. Some of these people are third-party companies, which is in operation throughout Ireland and the wider world, unbeknownst to the majority. This is Brian Cochran that wrote this. RIS-Tech has the capability to influence thoughts over a wide geographical area known as remote influencing tech. This is what's going on. And it all ties in with the scriptures, which is the mark of the beast. Don't shoot the messenger. Right? And it says, Brian asserts that this tech has capabilities of locking into resonant frequency of DNA. Right? So that's what the fusion centers are for. They get your DNA, right? They collect it. And in order to trace you, well, say if you don't have a phone, well, they got your DNA resonance, right? And they can use what? Planes. Right? They can use planes and other things, right, to track that, to tap into that resonance. Man. Of any individual in order to monitor thoughts, then reply back. It is known that this tech was used in administration of Bush and Obama. It was, but it was used before that. This was used during East Germany. This was used during the Nazis. What do you mean? This is a Nazi. It's a Nazi program. Don't you get it? It's part of Project Blue Beam and all those things there. Paperclip, the paperclip scientist. Well, who were the paperclip scientists? They were Nazis, right? If those who fail to comply with society get hit, if those that fail to comply with society, they get hit with transmitted energy. Are you paying attention? I'm speaking to whoever can receive this. They get hit with directed energy. So you may look at your neighbors, oh well, my next door neighbor, they're doing this to me. They're getting hit with that energy as well if they don't comply. It's not just one person. Now, the target individual, he's getting hit more than everybody else, but this is being used on the public from a surveillance network staff. So yeah, you have surveillance network staff, which would be known as fusion centers, right? And who would be control of that? Military and your police force. So they're in on it. They know what's happening. In order to protect ourselves from that control grid, because remember, it's a grid, by the way. It is his belief we should dismantle the telephone masts. That's true. We should re-engineer all public street lighting, because if you didn't know as well, they changed the street lighting. From a few years, it was a bit dim. Now they've put LED lights within these lighting, and it's not just LED lights, it's sensor lights, so they can pick up on you just through lighting systems. It's quite advanced. And from Rakim Union, February the 4th, 2020, he said he was physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically torn from weapons, dramatic weight loss, joint deterioration, muscle deterioration, skin problems. He may have cancer due to large amounts of radiation. Because what they're doing, these fusion centers, they're beaming you and hitting you with large amounts, way beyond the amount that you should be getting hit with. This is what they're doing. So instead of getting mad at us, the ones that teach you this word, the Bible, why aren't you getting mad at your government? The average person will think, nah, mate, you're mad. They can't be doing this. No, this is what they're doing to you. This is what they're doing. Okay? You don't need to believe. You don't need to believe me. This is what they are doing. And there's more. Excuse me, there's much more. Right? And this all ties in with the scriptures. Quickly go to Thessalonians. And yes, they have, not too far away from where I am, you have something, I saw a sign, it said subcontractors, and it also mentioned police. So you have police and military that are also in touch with subcontractors. Bro, this is, can't you see what's going on? Can't you see what's going on? And them contractors have been sent to harass you. They've been sent there to harass you. Right? All of a sudden, yeah, we got this building scheme going on. Bro, it's a government thing. Right? So, now, when you hear all this noise in the mornings and the cars going past, what cars do you see? What trucks do you see? It's like construction trucks, right? Construction, private, yeah, it's them. They've been hired to do that. Better wake up, right? And their whole thing, what's the whole purpose, one may say, is to inflict mental illness upon the target, to drive you to suicide, or to have you in a psychiatric ward, or in jail, or dead. That's why they've been hired, right? And you can't trace it back to anything. That's why they have private firms and private contractors, so it doesn't get back to them, which would be the people in your government. That's why what knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And a lot of people are being told to shut up, don't say anything, shut up, right? Or we come after you. No, they are coming after you. You're being targeted as well, you dumbass, right? This is Thessalonians 2 and 9. If even him who's coming as after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. What's that signs, lying wonders? It's tech. So what do you think's being used? You know the aircrafts. I just found this out. You know them aircrafts that are going over your head low? Guess what they're doing? Guess what they're doing? They have microwave technology in these planes, right? These are military planes. They don't have any windows, right? Fucking idiots. Excuse me just a minute. Now I'm telling you this. Now you should wake up and take the right precautions now to guard yourself and pray. Right? So there's more. There's more. Excuse me just a minute. I brought this up before, but I want to bring it out again. These are you know, you have something called unconscious groups, think tanks, and so whatever being manipulated as porn. So you do know the people. This is what you gotta understand. You call it perps, mob, the mob or whatever. Guess what? What they don't tell you, they're being targeted. That's what they're not gonna tell you. They're being targeted to target you. This is what you gotta understand. Right? And it says, Baba Kishar, in spiritual warfare, because remember, this is spiritual warfare, games are being used as distractions while they plug the groupthink reality bubbles into AI weapons. So it's a great groupthink AI technology that's being used. Say you have a game, you have that joystick, you're playing Call of Duty or whatever it is, and you're moving right around. That's what's happening in the physical. That's what's happening. It's called remote neural monitoring. So this is what's happening. An AI weapons designed as surveillance system of mind control hive net. This is a sinister project, right? It's example. Say you have virtual reality glasses and you put them on and you're watching the TV. It's similar to that. It's similar to that. And guess who's behind this? Your government, your military, your CIA, your NSA. They're behind all this. They're orchestrating it. And it's an AI network. It's based upon mental mapping. Getting the mental map of your brain and how your brain reacts, how it processes things, and what you do in certain situations. They're doing this to the public. Do you have targeted individuals? Yes. And the reason why they're targeted individuals because they're intelligent and they're able to see what's going on. The other people, they're not too intelligent. They're being used as pawns to come up against you when you're trying to tell them what's going on. So it's a mental mapping of your brain, which goes into neural monitoring, right? And sometimes you have vans that are parked outside your house, all white vans. Well, guess what that all white van is? I forgot the name of it. It's a Stingray truck, right? And that truck goes past every now and then to say if you have internet connection, to tap into your internet connection and it can send a signal, right, through that connection, right? And it can manipulate the people that are within your household. If they're not enlightened, they can manipulate their thought patterns. It's called a Stingray van. It sends signals through households. Better wake up, right? And a collective brain neural link. So it's linked to what? A computer, right? So they're trying to link people to computers, right? And map them out. But I always say that, and also it catches emotions and it processes as well. Yes. Right? Have you ever wondered why certain people get told to do this to him, do that? Because they're gathering whatever your emotions are, they're gathering that and they've been told to do that. And the military are behind this. The military, your government are behind this. And your police forces. Right? From America to the UK. What else is there? What else is there? What else is there? They try to manipulate human activity of your brain. So that's what's going on. So another thing I want to say this as well. The public, well, they believe anything because they're just lost. But if you see an individual that's intelligent, right? He has the Bible, but sometimes he seems a little bit off balance. That's because these weapons are being used on us. I could speak for myself. Bro, yesterday I was getting hit. Yesterday I was getting hit hard while I was sleeping. Hard, right? So I know what's going on, right? Now, I heard someone, a lady that sent me a message. You could sue them. Yeah, you can sue them. Because bro, I have all the evidence. I have enough evidence. The articles, the videos, the cars, the planes. I have all of it. Enough evidence to take these people to court and get because they know what they're doing is criminal, right? But nah, I don't feel to do that because I'm a believer in the Bible, and I'd rather let Yahushua deal with them instead. And you know what's spiritual, right? You've had throughout the last month, you've had a few crashes, right? Military crashes and so forth. So the Lord has a way of dealing with people without you having to do anything, all right? And the goyim, the low-level street walkers, the masons, they just use them to to follow you around. They're nobodies, those that are on ground level, right? It's really those that are higher. That's why when you go to Ephesians 6:11, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against what? Principalities and forces of darkness in high places." See, what are the military? Do they not fly jets and planes and put drones, right? And a drone ain't just a drone. A drone is also a plane, by the way, that can send signals through your household, right? That's spiritual wickedness in high places. So their whole thing is to collect data to control what? The so-called timelines. They're not controlling anything. Yahweh is in control. And therefore you have simulations, right? So even when you see these vehicles, all these different vehicles, they slow down. You do a video. Even today when I was doing a video in the field, they started to slow down. Then they started to speed up. Bro, they're manipulated. They're manipulated. Whether you want to call it demons, technology, same thing. Because there is demons that control technology, which we read in Thessalonians. Satan, lying wonders, miracles. They've been told lies about you. Yeah, it's systematic as well. Man, there's so much information on this. And therefore you have something called simulations, right? And it says to be or have or feed sensory. They also, yes, sensories. They try to mess with your sensories. Remember, they have lighting systems. Traffic, right? They can make traffic stop. They can make it go. Who do you think's in control of that? Who do you think's in control of that? Military, your military and contractors. They can speed up traffic. They can cut it short. They can change the traffic lights and vehicles in order to keep things running. So we went to that Baba Kishar. I just want to bring out all this information, right? I want to bring out, and I know I brought this out before, but it's good we keep going over it, and there's more. So, yeah, it's a program. You're put on a program. It's a watch list. Apparently, you're this dangerous individual that you need to keep an eye on him. You're a danger to public, right? This is what they've told people. That's why you're being watched. What I want to let you know is you're teaching the Bible, right? You ain't done nothing wrong. It's just that you're exposing the truth and you have demons that don't like it. It's from your higher levels. It's from your higher levels, from elites to military, from your ambulance services. They're involved as well, right? They're told to park outside, do the sirens. It's from your local store owners as well. They're involved, right? It's from your local dustbin men as well. They're involved as well, right? So, yeah, it's systematic as well because they've been told lies and these people are worshipping the beast, right? Your bus drivers are involved as well. They get told before you get on the bus, slow down, stop here, stop there, try and make your life difficult, Bro, they've been told about you. That's why when they see you, when you see the bus driver, what does the bus driver do? He either slow down or speed up, right? And who do you think's in control of that? Bro, this is a military operation. It's the police. These are the criminals. But it's alright, it's alright. I ain't gonna do anything. Your Habasha's gonna judge you. Right? It's all planned. Because you're exposing the truth. So now, just a few tactics that would be used and what they do. Go to alright. They crash their vehicle into yours. I haven't even mentioned this to my father, you know, my biological father. I haven't even mentioned this. Yeah, his whole door was basically half hanging off. And he said, you know what? He was in a certain location and a van crashed into his car. When that happened, I already knew what it was. It's these fucking Masons. Yeah, it's these Masons that done that, right? And the van, it just left. That person was told to do that, right? So they crash into your car, your vehicles. Road rage. These are the signs of so-called gang stalking, targeting. Road rage. You get a lot of that. They tried to cut you off. They tried to slow you down. They're trying to soften you up. These are just the tactics so they can hit harder. So they have people around you to try and soft you up, get you in an effeminate spirit, because they know the elected were the true men, right? What else? They try to stop you from, and that's why they try to belittle you as well, to diminish your manhood. And what else? Trying to stop you from getting with hot women. Another thing, they try to do that as well, right? They try anything. Noise campaigns, you get that quite a lot as well. A lawnmower, whether it's a lawnmower, a motorbike, trucks. They have trucks driving past. It's a narrow street, but you have this big ass truck driving past on a speed bump. So they have everybody involved. Don't ask me how, but they have everybody involved. Oh man. So they use noise campaigns as well, right? Mimicry. They mimic you. They mimic your conversations. Remember, they've put devices around your household and in your household. So when you leave, they're not psychics. Even though you do have psychics, they're not psychic. They've listening to what you've said, right? And they mimic it, because Satan's a copycat. He's not original. They imitate, yeah, they copycat, they duplicate, and they follow one around. But I want to let you know this. It's not everyone. Yeah, it's a lot of people, but it's not everyone. The reason why this is being done, because this is called covert psychology operation. So now Ray want you to distrust everyone. You may have been a nice, loving individual that was open talking to people. Now you don't want to talk to people as much because it's a covert operation. So please get out there. It's very important that you get out there and you communicate with people, because the more you do that, the more they see, hold on a minute, this individual, he ain't what they said he is. He's communicating, he's in his right mind. Please get out, talk to people. Don't be in a rush, don't be desperate. Talk to people, communicate, and live your life. Don't be stuck in your household, because that's where they want you to be, right? And is there anything else? They're messing with people's brainwaves via radio frequency. That's what's happening. And that's why you can't get too mad at your gang stalkers, because they're getting hit with them frequencies as well. Especially if they don't stalk you, they get hit with them frequencies. They get punished by Satan. And they can move moods, basically, in large populations. Bro, this is being done in populations. I bring out a couple weeks ago about the ISS contractor. He said the whole cities of Seattle, this was being used. And it was working on cities and towns and influencing people, their actions. All right? And they use this on diplomats in Havana for population control, because that's what it's used for, to keep the masses under control. So when you see bus drivers, rapid response, who would be the rapid response? The fire trucks. I do say this, for certain firemen I have a lot of respect for, but I found out even so-called firemen, it found out that a lot of them were part of the Nazi regiment. Same with your police force. It comes out every day, right? The racism in the police force. right? So the Nazis, they've infiltrated all your high levels of government. What do you think the conservatives are? You really think they conservative? Oh, well, conservatives. Conservatives, they're for the rich. And most conservatives, not all, I know I shouldn't pigeonhole, most conservatives are so-called what? Upper middle class, so-called white, wealthy people that don't like Negroes. Okay, so you're talking about Nazis, and Nazis are in higher positions in your governments. So you wonder why these things are happening. But I thought all the Nazis were persecuted. No, they weren't persecuted. They just spread out. Idiots. Right? So this is what's going on. And yes, somebody reported you, somebody with a bit of power that knows people in higher places, put you on this program. Right? They put you on this program. Right? Okay. And another thing, yes, they use neighbors, they tell neighbors lies and so forth. They also use, yes, I told you, they use contractors as well, right? They use contractors so they can hide the dirt that they're doing, right? And these contractors go throughout the community and tell people, well, he's doing this, he's doing that. So they're just paid off to lie, right? These are so-called security firms, right? And basically they use this was happening as well. If they can't find you, say if you're in your house or they want to see what you're doing, they can just use infrared. So you know when you got the helicopters, right? You got the helicopters at night time, they're just using infrared, right? To find out where you are within that building, and they can find you easily. And it's not just that, you got certain neighbors doing dumb shit as well, right? And if I see this neighbor doing this again, bro, I'm gonna let him know, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, bro, I ain't playing no games. Bro, this ain't no games, bro. This is... Your house is supposed to be your castle, right? So when you start violating, when you start taking the piss, bro, you're gonna have to answer for that. Right? I had one individual, one neighbor, bro, he shines these it's particular lights, but these are what, not neon lights, these are illuminant lights. Fluorescent lights. And what do fluorescent lights do? Fluorescent lights kill, right? What's the word? They kill what's the word? They say it kills bacteria. No, it's killing your cells. But it kills bacteria. It's killing your cells. Right? Just like LED. So why all of a sudden all these LED lights are put up in place? You got military lights outside the house. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Because you've been fooled, you've been duped to believe I'm a criminal. And they have these lights placed on you as well. They were first doing it, but they're not doing it as much now. Right? Okay. So they will also use LED lights to see inside. With these lights, they can actually see inside your household. I'm talking about neighbors. Certain neighbors have been given this as well, to look what you're doing within your household and report back to the government. Because some of these people have took non-disclosure deals as well. Yes. Within your community. See, there's high level watch, right? There's federal government watch, which is the highest level, right? And if you're on that, if you're on that, it's because you're a very intelligent, wise individual and you're exposing things. And there's the lower level, which is in your community. So within my community, I know the neighbors and everybody, they're watching me, because there's also a community a community watch as well, where they're told to keep an eye on you and so forth, right? So that's what's going on. And you have dumbasses within the community that have signed a non-disclosure deal. And that's why all of a sudden, have you noticed, they just got new cars all of a sudden, right? They were given a new Mini or a new car. Bro, Satan fooled you. Satan fooled your dumbass, man. Because now, there's no way out of that deal that you just signed. There's no way out of it. Because if you refuse to watch me now you're going to be targeted. And guess what? You are being targeted. Right? You should have thought before you sign that deal, before you sign that paper. And yeah, this technology does cause sometimes, when you hear me speaking, I may be stuttering, because this technology that they're using, It causes faulty speeches, right? Remember, you're so intelligent, bro. They're trying to fuck up your mind. They're trying to turn you into a dummy. They're trying to turn you into a dummy through this tech because you're so intelligent and so switched on. So this is what's going on. They're trying to dumb you down. So when you hear me sometimes when I may be stuttering, I'm like, that's because of all this tech. It's called tech torture. And what else? Disorientation, which they use the bright lighting techniques to cause disorientation. And sometimes they have things where they can create heart palpitations. They can have it where your heart's pounding and you feel like you're about to have a heart attack. Who do you think's doing that? It's the government and your fusion centers. Because once they tap into your data, your bio data, they can do that. And this is why some people die. And they have these weaponized devices linked to COINTELPRO and your governance. So who's really doing it? Because you know what I once thought? I thought, well, could it be one of the neighbors? Could it be them? No, bro. Your neighbors are not that powerful. Your neighbors are not that powerful to orchestrate all of that, to get all of that. So you're telling me they're that powerful to get the planes, every building, police cars? They're not that powerful, right? Unless they have connections to the military or government. Okay, so who's doing this? Who's controlling the thing? Who's orchestrating it on a basis? It's those that are on their heads, right? Your government's the military, right? Not your neighbor next door. Your neighbor next door is just being told what to do. He's just being told, he or she's just being told to harass you. Open the door, shut the door, flush the lights, slam the car door, open the door. That's all they're being told to do, right? And they're being told to do the street theater as well. Right? So we're going to shut off soon. Yeah, it's an EMF scanning network. That's why they use electronic magnetic fields. And each person has a unique set of frequencies, right? That's a fact. But the thing is, with those that are teaching this Bible, our frequency changes from time to time. That's why they get so pissed off, because it doesn't work 100%, right? Unless they put a chip in you while you're sleeping. And some people, it's been notified that they've done that to some people while they were sleeping. They snuck in the house, and while they were sleeping, they put a chip in them, implanted it into them. Bro, these people are psychopaths. Technology, nothing's wrong with technology, but when technology is in the wrong hands, then that's when you need to start panicking. These people, bro, it's like they are somewhat above the law, right? Because if, according to the American Constitution, they are supposed to be sentenced. So yeah, it's hidden. And he can remotely read particular thoughts to a certain extent. And it links him with artificial intelligence. Done through computers. NSA agents scan frequency to pinpoint where the target may be. And they have remote offices. Who controls the remote offices? Your military. And they know it's illegal. They know what they're doing is illegal. And they say we're just experimenting on your son. We're just experimenting. Bro, that ain't no fucking experiment. Right? And if you are experimenting, where's my money? Where's my money then? Because you didn't ask me. If you're experimenting on someone, you tell them. You don't expect, you have to tell them. So it's illegal. They can be sentenced. They could be locked up. That's why they hire private subcontractors. But experiment. That's not no experiment, right? At all. And it says, Baba Kasha, they also neutralize families by means of coercive, vicious tactics. So Them vicious tactics are by using them frequencies on your family if they don't comply. And this is done by intelligence agencies, and you have low level. You have work in it. You have different type of forms of agencies, by the way, right? And military planes utilize signals over the horizon. So yeah, you know the planes that you hear every night, every day. You know them planes that you see. Yeah, bro, they're in charge of the operation, right? Yeah, they're sending signals. And to catalog and to track unique bioelectric resonance entrainment frequency, so they can trap your resonance and they can find you even if your phone's off. Or if they got your resonance, it doesn't matter if you have your phone, does it? Because they have your resonance. So all they need to do is tap into it and hit you with that. And this tech allows NSA and military organizations which operates under auspices of the United States Department. So this goes all the way back to the United States. So I'm in the UK, right? So me being in the UK and me being on a watch list in America, that means someone would have to have seen me in America and didn't like what I was saying. They put me on it, right? And basically, is it flawed? The feedback is flawed because it's based on emotional responses in terms of the tech. It's based on your emotional response of the target. That's why they need you to respond. That's why they need color coding. That's why they need people doing things in front of you to see how you're going to respond, right? And can't excuse me, and it can differentiate between the thoughts. It can't differentiate between thought and actual thought, right? Because our thoughts change from time to time, right? I heard individuals saying, "Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Yeah, it works. It works." No, it's not 100%. It's not 100%, right? It's counterfeit. Like I said, the devil wants to be everything that Yahweh Shai is the Heavenly Father, right? So this is a lot of information, and they use yes private sectors to perpetrate these crimes. These are criminals, right? It's called racketeering, modern day criminal racketeering. That's what it's called. Now, before I shut off, I didn't want this lesson to go this long. We're nearly like 40 minutes past 40 minutes. Now, this is happening to the whole community, to your neighbors as well. So what are they doing? They're creating hotbeds of radiation within your household. So, in other words, I know it sounds hard. They're trying to kill you. Yeah, I know that's what they're trying to do. And if they can get away with it, they will. They've done it to other people. But once you have this knowledge, you can pass it on to others. You can create flyers. You have a printer. Print out this knowledge and pass this on. Right? Spread it out there. Get the information out there and let them know what they're doing. That's how this thing gets shut down, and they're going to need to scatter. Because it's funding. And who's funding it? Who's funding the elites are funding it. Right? Because it needs funding. Right? It needs funding. So, because it needs funding, they need to create criminals. Pay attention. Because it needs funding, that means they will need to create criminals. They will need to create a false sense of terror. That's where you get your crisis actors. So, you know, a lot of these people that are doing what they're doing with the gang stalking, these are crisis actors, whether they know it or not. Whether they know it or not. Right? So they need it to create a threat so they can be funded. If there's no threat, they can't be funded. And the whole thing is so you can turn mental. And now they can say, see, we told you he was a lunatic. Please keep your calm. The scriptures tell us about he that is slow to anger, keep your calm. Don't let these people provoke you. You know, all these cars that are driving around, blasting their music, people speaking loud, they've been hired by government agencies and third-party agencies to do that, to harass you, so you can lose it, right? So you can do something that will get you in a worse situation. Now you can't teach this word and spread the truth. So that's what's going on. You're that important. You're that powerful. Now, I got some tips how to deal with it, because this is just, I haven't even went into all of it on the program, but these are just some of the tips, right? Yes, they use anyone against you. If they can turn your family against you, they turn your family. If they can tap into their neural networking, they tap into their neural networking and have them, turning evil. Is there demons behind it? Yes, there is demons behind it, because I believe everything is spiritual. Just count it a blessing that you're still safe, right? What's some of the tips? All right, hold on. There was something I was missing. Another thing these people do as well. Excuse me just a minute. Yeah, I've got some of the tips, right? So check this out. Important tips for those that are going through this program. Try to take a cold water shower. Even better, a bath if you have a bath, right? Because remember, there are metals as well. They're pumping you with radiation. A lot of metals are hitting you. And the reason why these metals are hitting you, because again, they need to track you, right? So another thing they do is been a fact that I see another article where the planes were dropping little tiny particles of metal so they can trace you and track you. So make sure you're having cold water showers as well, and for your skin, and to rid your skin of particular metals. And detoxing, and eat a load of greens, please. Make sure you're eating greens. Get all that mercury and all that stuff out your body. Right? What else? And what else was there? And when you see the car speeding, when the cars are speeding, what that's creating? When you have 20 or 30 cars, 40, 50 cars speeding one after another, what's that going to cause? That's going to cause toxins. That's going to cause toxins, right? And what do toxins cause? Diseases, right? So, bro, this is quite serious. These people, they're trying to kill you. If they don't kill you, give you a disease, right? You got the cars speeding, all in a line, right? And what else? So when you see the car speeding, that's what they're trying to do, cause a toxic environment, right? And what else? If you have electrical equipment, another tip as well. Have you ever heard your gas going out? Yeah, have you heard that? When you hear that sound, that's because the military and contractors, they have knowledge. They can tap into your devices. It's easy. They have smart devices, right? So they can tap into it. Easy. And that's where you have the Stingray. And you have certain cars as well that can tap into that. Right? And what else? You have air vents as well. Check your air vent systems, because they can also put toxins through that and gas through that. Right? They use venting systems, okay, to mess up your immune system. Your cars, already said the car speeding, your noise pollution. So they also, noise pollution. Yeah, these people, they're Satanists. They're dumbasses. And a lot of them have been told to do it, but you see how stupid these people are. Get a balaclava. If you got a balaclava, cover your face with something. Like right now, I got a little belly on to cover my face. Right, because it's a lot of toxins that they're trying to push through. Remember, they're trying to harm you. They're trying to enforce some type of mental sickness, synthetic sickness. Right? And they're not just doing this to me. They're doing it to you as well. Right? They're doing it to you. It's just that you don't know it. Right? Wear some headphones as well for the noise reduction. If you can get some headphones or some headsets, just put them on for the noise reduction. Listen to some music to reduce that noise. Or I have a tactic. You know what I love doing? When they start making noise, well, I'm doing woodwork anyway, so that doesn't really bother me. Remember, everything they're doing is covert psychology to break you down. Is no-touch torture. This is a no-touch torture program. So noise is no-touch torture, right? You can harass someone by noise, right? So that doesn't really bother me, because what am I'm doing woodwork. I'm making noise. I'm using the drill. I'm using the hammer. When I'm not doing that, I'm punching the heavy bag, right? So there's many ways you can counter attack it. They use directed conversations. You just put your headphones in. You don't want to hear their stupid arse voices. They speak loud because they want you to hear them. These are all tactics. They've been told to do this from contractors and military. Oh yeah, get his attention, talk loud. You just put your headphones in or some earbuds, right? You don't want to hear their voices, their demonic voices. And if that don't work, guess what they'd be doing? They'd be doing the beeping, right? These are trucks. These are lorries and trucks that do that beeping. By the way, you may hear it from time to time. Beep 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 beep. Right? That's to get your attention, and it's to mess with your psyche, to have you thinking, yeah, they're there. We know what you're doing. We can see you. And they also do it to signal to other Masons. So these are just all psychological tactics which they've been told to do from higher ups, right? Yes, you're that powerful that there's that much people that need to do all these things, and I'm still sane by the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. It's a miracle. And what else? LED lights, I told you about that, which emit, these LED lights emit frequencies, by the way. Bro, there's many different lights you can get, right, that are less harmful. And these emit frequencies, and they also use it to signal to each other. And what else? And they suppress your mental state, by the way. Fluorescent lights can see through your house, Bailey. It's called X-ray, right? And it can destroy your biostructure via cells. I already talked about that. Eat a lot of I don't want to say eat a lot of beef. Eat beef. Try to eat beef once a week. Eat like lean foods because it will help. Because different brothers, it varies. A lot of brothers lose weight when they hit you with these beams. A lot of brothers are losing weight. Like you had that testimony that I read. A lot of muscular structure. Remember, these people, they're psychopaths. So some of you may be losing a lot of weight. You may be going to the toilet a lot, diarrhea. Because remember, they also use vehicles as well, and they have electric guns. Yeah, electric guns. That's not an exhaust pipe, by the way. Some of it is exhaust pipes. Other, it's an electric gun, which they drive past your house, and they shoot that electric gun, and it taps into your electricity, and it disrupts your electricity. And in your household, you may be hearing a fuzz, like a vzz. That's because that car that just went past, right? That just shot them frequencies towards your household. So that's what's going on. Yeah, bro, these are military contractors and all. It's your government that's behind it, right? It's a silent kill program, right? What else have we got? Bro, this is going to get exposed. The best thing to do is print this out and make people aware of it so more people will know what's going on. Because I can assure you, if you have these appliances in your household, it's happening to you as well. What else is there? Bear me just a minute. Try to eat some beef. If you're losing weight, try to eat some beef. Get a Faraday cage. It varies. Just ultimately, I don't want to push carnality because I'm a believer in the Bible and the Messiah. He controls everything. But if you can do things to prevent the level of radiation and things that are happening to you, why not spend a bit of money, right? Get a bit of foil. Foil helps to a certain extent. It's not going to completely keep the radiation away, but foil helps a little bit. What else? Some will say copper. No, copper, I wouldn't say copper helps. Copper attracts that radiation, that electricity. A copper attracts that. So I wouldn't say wear copper, because a copper will attract that, right? If you have gold on you, take off your gold, right? Because it attracts it as well. That's a source, right? But the best thing is aluminum for a Faraday cage. There's several things you can get, right? You just have to do that research. Eat a lot of chicken as well, like eat a lot of lean meats. And eat your greens, man, to detox as well, because there's a lot of metals and you need to detox from the metals. Make sure you're exercising. That's very important. Make sure you're exercising. If you're not going for a walk, If you're not jogging, make sure you're lifting up some weights. Make sure you're doing something, because remember, they're trying to stress you out. They're trying to induce some stress. And what happens when you're stressed? When you're stressed, I forgot, it releases something, a toxin in your body. Now you have a synthetic disease that was brought about by people what? Harassing you and hitting you up with all types of radiation. Can you imagine what all that does to you? The harassment, you being cut off, people following you, the tech. Bro, this is what's going on. And it's getting exposed. And more people are waking up to what's going on. It's not just me, it's people worldwide. This is a worldwide thing. Right? So much information. I hope you're writing this down. Right? And just some more food for your neuropathy. Eat some leafy greens. Right? Some broccoli. I need to purchase some broccoli. Oh, another thing as well. Be careful as well, because this program, they keep an eye of what you've ate. Yeah, your dustbin men as well. They're fucking demons. Some of them. Some of your local dustbin men. They've been told to keep an eye on what. Gather the things that are in your bin. Show it to the person, their handlers, and your handler sees what's in the bin, and they see what you buy. So if you bought a certain type of thing, that person would be told, would you put a bit of poison, put a bit of toxins? Yes, this program, they do that as well. They poison your food. So change up your food as well. Don't just buy the same thing. If you go there, you ain't been to the store for a week, or you go back 2 days and that same food is there, hasn't been moved, and you know you purchased that, don't touch it. Right? Because they tampered with it. Right? So broccoli, spinach, right? Asparagus, all sources of magnesium is contained. Vitamin D, B12 fish, get a lot of sardines as well. Right? Just eat the best food you can. And it contains a lot of zinc for oxidative stress. Remember, you know what they're doing with the cars? You know when they're speeding with the cars? What are they trying to do? Right? They're trying to oxidize your environment. You're being hit. Yes, you're being hit, whether you know it or not, with particles. You can't see these particles. They're called atoms. They're called atoms. So you're being hit with atoms, but you just can't see it. Right? And these oxidize. Why are you losing weight? Because it's oxidizing your flesh. It's hitting your flesh. And these atoms can go through the wall. So if it's going through the wall, can you imagine what it's doing to your body? Can you imagine what it's doing to your body? And that's why I try not to get mad. Bro, Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai is going to destroy these people. Don't fret. Do not fret. This is what's going on. But the public, most of the public are ignorant to it. Right? So these are the oxidative stresses by particles that get emitted through LED lights, not just LED lights, cars driving past fast, not one, many of them, including your 5G, because your 5G picks up on that, by the way, and your EMF fields. Hold on, I wrote down something about that EMF fielding. And what does the EMF field do? Right, it goes round in what circles, right? It acts in a circle way, EMF field. That's why it's called a field, right? It acts in a circuit. It goes round and round, right? So, yeah, it causes oxidative stress. So, if you're losing weight, that's because it's oxidizing your flesh, right? You know how steel rusts, that certain things rust. Well, that's what's happening. And that's why a fruit is important. Eat a lot of berries, blackberries, raspberries, oranges, because that's antioxidants. Right? Eat a lot of turmeric, turmeric is anti-inflammatory, right? I need to purchase some turmeric, right? Cayenne pepper. For your nervous system, because again, part of this program, they're trying to disrupt your nervous system, and your nervous system is from your mind's right all the way to your spine. So your nervous system stretches all the way to your spine, to your head. That's what they're trying to disrupt. Yeah, bro, these people, they're evil, they're wicked. What can you say? But I'm just trying to help you, as well as myself. Banana. I love bananas, right? Full of potassium. B6 helps neurotransmitters. So purchase some bananas as well. Coconut oil, brilliant to cook with that, right? Try not to get that other oil, sunflower oil. That's the worst oil to get, right? If you're gonna get oil, get olive oil. Brilliant for memory. And use instead of glucose and orange vitamin D. Get some berries which contain flavonoids and protects against diseases. So remember, why are these people doing what they're doing? Because they're trying to enforce a disease and they're trying to disrupt your body, right? These are the criminals. These are the criminals. Get some prunes as well because they're good for B6 and good memory loss. And the music is 2HZ Delta binaural, heals cells and repels nerve damage. I haven't tried it. And some say try 528 MHZ. The music 528 MHZ, right? Apparently it's good for repair. I haven't tried it. And a few more bits, then we shut off. Right? And what else is there? Abakasha. Right. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. There was one more bit. Yeah, this is real. That's going on. This is real. Okay, real. Spread the info. All right. Oh, here it is. So yeah, them particles that are causing oxidative stress is through your 5G. Okay, it's through your 5G and these frequencies that you're being hit with. It's just that you can't see it. And everything has frequencies. Your phone, your TV. And when you have something called a transmitter, which is transmitting frequencies, and that's where people get they watch TV and they get hypnotized. Not all, some people, those that are easily manipulated. And that's how it works. And you're getting hit. I'm getting hit. You can't completely avoid it 100%. Right? You can't completely avoid it 100%, but there's things you can do to lessen the damage. Okay? Now you wonder why, this person has cancer. There's different levels of cancer. There's blood cancer, there's throat cancer, there's different type of cancer. Well, now you know why these people are getting it. And electrons, right? Indivisible unit of negative electrical charge particles. So that's what you're getting hit with. You know when these cars are speeding past, right? All speeding past. If you have a 5G network next to you, well, it's picking up on that. And then particles are hitting you, right? And they rotate about positive nucleus of an atom. So you have positive and you have negative atoms, right? And the electrical magnetic field goes in a circular motion and gathers frequencies, including noise and debris. So this thing, guess what? It's gathering debris. Bro, this was all planned. Everything they're doing, these devils are doing, is planned. So, you know, when I see this, I don't laugh, but I know why they're doing what they're doing. I see it. Right? The rest of the public don't know. They just say, it's just cars speeding past. No, it's not. They're doing that for a reason. And consisting of magnetic fields. All right? Iron surrounded by electrical coil, which gets when the cars go past, it gives off like a little ring. It catches up on that, right? That's why they have wires, right? That's why they have these wires, and the wires, it like explodes them wires, and that's where you get that static shock, right? So I gave you the tips, right? Eat a lot of greens, please. Eat a lot of greens. Detox. Please take cold showers if you can as well. Cold shower. Make sure you're exercising. Make sure you're staying positive. You have a positive mindset, and first and foremost, make sure you have faith, right? And you're praying to Yahweh Shai, because these people, they're very nefarious, they're very wicked, they're very evil. For someone to do things like this, to come up with a plan like that, they have to be evil. These are malignant forces at hand, right? So in the morning, you know, when you hear them trucks and these vehicles swooshing past, you hear it swoosh. Yeah, these are malignant forces, all right, that want to do you harm. But if Yahweh is for you, who can be against you? All right. So with this, I hope this was edifying. I didn't, bro, what, 1 hour and 5 minutes in. I didn't think this lesson would be this long. I was just thinking it was going to be a little 10-minute video. But Lord willing, you were edified and you were given all the basis on what this program is about and so forth. So how you can combat it. And the major way you combat it is through the scriptures and staying non-responsive, non-reactive, because what's the target of the program is to, what's the word? Is to neutralize the target. So that's what people are trying to do, neutralize you, because you're seen as a threat to their agenda. So with this, I hope this was edifying, and until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.